There you go. All right, so what is today? 6th of March? We're going to watch Curfew. We're going to kind of analyze it. We're going to break it apart. And we'll see what we can pick up from all those ideas. So before we even see anything, what's the first technique we're exposed to? It is the music. What kind of music is it? Non-diegetic. There's a media studies student. So non-diegetic music. Ollie's got this. Music we can hear, but not music the characters can hear in the film. So the music's intended for the audience, not for the characters. So that kind of background soundtrack music, but we hear, but they don't. If you're thinking opera, what kind of mood does that set for you? Sorry? Dramatic? Yep. I mean, is it young, hip, contemporary? How many of you guys listen to opera right now? Okay, there you go. So does that make it a bit more of a surprise when you actually see that sweeping shot leading to the chord, to the old rotary phone? It's just a phone. But again, probably not just any phone. What color is the phone? Where's the symbolism in red? Anger. Blood. We see figure. Yeah. Love, happiness, passion, emotion, right? It's probably not a mistake. Or the red phone, from a context-wise, the red phone is the emergency phone. So there's actually, you might not know about it much these days, but the red phone is pretty much the phone that gives the nuclear launch signal in the White House. So the red phone is kind of DEFCON 5 emergency. Yeah, that's true.
Richie, I'm in a little bit of trouble here. I don't know who to turn to. I have to take care of something right now, but I don't want to leave Sophia alone.
Overhead shot. Looking down as if he's weak. He's in a weaker position, right? We look down on something. But what view are we getting it from? By using the kind of high angle, looking down on him, it's almost like we are higher up position, right? Sometimes people refer to these kind of shots as the kind of omniscient, godlike, you can see everything.
I need someone to look after her for a few hours until I get back. I know we haven't spoken in a while, and you know that you are my last choice on earth to ask to be responsible for anything, but you're my brother, and I'm not baby.
Look, I am really fucked right now, okay? I'm in a fucked up situation, and I can't get a hold of anyone.
You are my absolute dead last option. Can you just do this one fuck?
Camera's zooming in on the kid. I mean, she's talking about her situation. We've seen bits of him in a bathtub. If that's what's going on being so important, why is it zooming in on Sophie at this point? She looks sad? Yeah. Right. You know, so as a kid, even though she's got it most put together, you know, is she really the main character in this film? Is that what the message is maybe about? The effects these things have on children that are too innocent to be able to change them?
Fucking thing for me, Richie. Please. Say something. You know you're not doing anything important. If you want me to beg over the phone, this is it. This is all I've got. This is me begging you, Richie. Can you be over here in 20 minutes and watch her for me? I can't leave her alone. I just can't. Please.
Okay.
We
Again, the contrast of the music that Richie can't hear, we hear it. It's non-diegetic. It's happening outside of the world of the film. Right? But think of the chipper nice mood till we meet again, right? It's almost this kind of, it's got a positive, optimistic kind of tone to it, despite there being change, yet here he is washing off the blood from an attempted suicide attempt. How are we supposed to feel? Do they want us... Why put two things that are opposite right beside each other? Okay. Maybe it gives us the idea that maybe there's hope. Maybe, this is what he's going to need to turn it around. Okay. I can see that as well.
Meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies by the dark comes far away.
So we had that mid-range shot of her on the stairs and him. Why don't we just start with this one? Why not have a shot where we see both of them? Yeah, very different characters, right? She seems unemotional and almost put together. He seems like an absolute disaster.
Here's a list of appropriate places you're allowed to take me. If you take me somewhere that's not on that list, there'll be hell to pay. Here's some money for you to spend on me and on me only. If you spend it on anything else, like drugs, there'll be hell to pay. You're not allowed in the apartment until you drop me off at 10:30. If I'm not back home by 10:30 on the dot, there'll be hell to pay.
Well, I'm glad we got that out of the way. Now, my name is Richard, and I am your uncle.
I don't care.
If we look at that exchange, what's one possible theme this whole film's about? He's just told her that he's her uncle, and she replies with, yeah, especially your family, right? Think about it. Your family is supposed to be the people that, as you're brought into the world, that give you a sense of trust and belonging, right? If that sucks and your whole family life sucks, what chance do you have to make any meaningful relationships with anyone in your life?
What grade you in?
Fourth.
Fourth? You like it? You got some good friends? Sophia, huh? When I was younger, I used to draw a little bit, and I had this cartoon character named Sophia. I made these little flip books, Sophia and her little adventures, flip.
Fun fact, for those of you that remember the collaboration yesterday, he actually drew the flip book for the film, because he himself did flip books as a kid. So he brought in some of that experience, what made him happy as a child, to bring up that idea of trying to bring back that youthful innocence. And you see again that idea. There's a shot of her on the sofa, shot of him. Her, him. Always separated. There's always a distance between them. Because there's both a physical one and one in their relationship.
The books are. Anyway, your mom loved them. She laughed at them. She thought they were really funny. She thought they were a real hoot. I don't know if we knew anyone named Sophia growing up. I wonder sometimes if maybe she named you after these cartoons I used to draw. I don't know. Maybe she mentioned something.
She doesn't talk about me. Actually, she said you're passive-aggressive.
Passive what?
Passive-aggressive?
Passive-aggressive. Passive-aggressive, what does that mean? Alright, you know what? There was a little accident a few years ago. It was kind of my fault, and I was never allowed to see you again, so I'd like very much for us to get to know each other a little bit.
Music's changed, yeah? Look at how the pace of the film changes now. Everything's kind of at a one-to-one speed. Look at the speed of the next shot, and look at where it zooms into, in terms of how it gives us an idea of what one of the themes is in the piece.
You know, we gotta go some...
What was he pulling out of the ball? Drugs, narcotics, right? Probably some kind of cocaine from the powder-like substance. So how do we know this film is about an underlying theme of drug addiction? And drug abuse? They slip it right in there, right? Change the music, make him look at it. All of a sudden now he needs to go.
Somewhere I gotta pick something up.
Is it on the list?
Is one on the list. What I gotta pick up? No. Take 2 minutes.
It's not on the list.
You know what? Here's your list. There, boom. Now it's on the list. Let's go.
Would this scene be different if there was Disney music playing in the background? Or the operetta? It might be even creepier. You're right, Jack. You're absolutely right. There's a lot of changes in the use of sound and music to really dictate mood and tone in this piece, right? It changes so frequently as well. Especially if you look at that shot of her again being in this kind of narrow hallway. When you're in a narrow hallway like that, how do you feel? Walls closing in around you? Don't really... It's almost, you know, there's symbolism and metaphor just about where they place the character. No more Steadicam. All of a sudden now the camera's actually shaking, right? Why now? She's scared. She's vulnerable. She's not protected. Hey, look at that close-up coming into her, right? What kind of persona has she presented the whole time? Strong, confident, tough, collected. How much of these things do sometimes kids put on as an act or a facade to just cope with the real world around them? Especially if they don't have the kind of things they need. They're not getting it from certain people.
What's wrong? Hey, what's the problem?
I want to go home.
You want to go? What's wrong? I'm sorry, okay?
I want to go home.
I'm sorry, all right?
You spent the money. I want my money.
I didn't spend the money, Sophia. I have the money right here, all right? I did not spend the money. What does your mom say about me? Tell me what
she doesn't talk about
She doesn't talk about me. Would you please stop walking? I went to get these flip books, okay? I just thought maybe you'd enjoy them. Okay, listen, I did not spend any of the money. I didn't spend $1 of this money, and I don't lie.
Who sounds more like the kid here? He does, right? What assumption do we make as an audience based on the sound, based on the location, based on the slow-mo close-up of the drugs? What do we make? What do we assume he was going to go do? Buy drugs. Listen to the conversation. He's sounding a lot more like the actual kid. Kids are pretty open and honest and genuine about things. I don't lie. I just went to go get this book. Because the book reminded me of a time when, you know, you and your mom, we used to still talk. She's the one making these assumptions based on it. It's almost a role reversal.
All right, I don't lie. I just thought maybe...
Why were they in there?
Because I used to live there, okay? I used to... Look, I'm sorry, all right? I didn't think I shouldn't approach you. I'm not clear-headed. I thought maybe you'd like to see these. And would you like to see one? Right here, see?
She got shot by an arrow.
Yeah. You know, she dies like Looney Tunes, you know, but she always comes back to life. See? Sophia always comes back to life.
How did you do all this?
I didn't do it well. I don't know. I guess I was bored, you know. I have a Game Boy or Fragger or whatever it is you're playing over there.
How did you know the game I was playing?
I don't know. I know it, you know. I know it.
You know Fragger?
Yeah, I know Fragger. I know it.
You know Fragger?
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. Can we not be in the cold anymore, please?
Favorite number?
Why is she all of a sudden impressed by the fact he knows a game? Yeah.
She probably doesn't know anyone that also likes the game that she might.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, that's how we make connections with people. That's how we form friends, right? Think of your friends. Do you guys share similar interests? Is it easier to relate to each other as a result? A bit more trusting to be able to have a conversation? All of a sudden, now she wants to know. Look at the distance between them. For the first time in the film, physically, where they've been placed in the scene is closer together. Things are changing.
3.
Favorite color?
Blue.
What was the accident?
What accident?
The accident where you never saw me again.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
But I want to know.
Why does it matter?
You know what the leading cause of lung cancer is?
Yes.
Then why do you smoke?
Because it's not as bad as
Yes,
they
it
say.
is.
Not sometimes.
All the times. You don't look very healthy. Do you take vitamins?
I take drugs.
Those aren't vitamins.
I know.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No.
Why not?
I don't know.
Maybe it's because you don't look healthy.
Maybe can you please finish up eating your
Or it could
fries?
be because of the bad breath.
I don't have the bad breath.
Smoking is one of the leading causes of gingivitis.
You're really giving me a headache right now.
You don't take very good care of
Giving
yourself.
me a huge migraine headache.
You should get a girlfriend to take care of you.
I can't.
Clearly you can't take care of yourself.
It's in coming 2 hours. He's not coming.
I don't understand this. He seems so sorry.
Who is sounding like the adult?
She did.
And who sounds like the kid not being able to answer a question properly, saying, I don't know, or yeah, no, that's not. You know, we still have that kind of dynamic here, right? He's the kid, she's the adult. Take a look at the next scene and see where it switches and why it switches. Because it does. It makes a drastic switch.
He really did. He was like nothing like all of them seemed
There's a little girl in there.
This is not true. This one has a job. He was totally different.
There's a little girl in there.
No.
This
Oh
is.
my
I'm sorry.
God.
I'm sorry. It's
Look at New York. Look at New York Times.
I'm
New York
trying.
Times.
Okay.
Open up that page.
Oh,
Med.
now.
J-date.
Yeah.
Just shut up.
I think that.
I don't know.
Listen,
All I know is
shut
that
up.
homecoming wedding. This should not be happening.
Shut up.
This should not be happening.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Would you shut the hell up? Shut up! Shut up! Shut your big fat cow mouth! Shut up! Shut the fuck up! Shut it! You shut it! Shut up!
What changed? He stepped up and he wanted to provide some kind of protection for her, right? Even if it's just some people that might be making her uncomfortable because they're screaming out in the back, they're not realizing there's a little kid in there. And now take a look at who acts like more of the adult as we move forward from that point in the film.
What was the accident?
No,
What was the accident?
no, I'm not.
What was the accident?
I don't remember what it. I don't remember. What it was.
Please, come on. I really want to know.
All right, fine. I dropped you.
What?
I dropped you on the floor.
When?
When you were a baby. I was taking care of you, and I don't know how to hold one of those things, okay? Your legs and your arms were flailing all over the place. You were crying and burping, and I lost control. I dropped you. Your mother nearly had a heart attack. It's not funny. I thought it did some serious damage, okay? It's serious. It was a serious thing. You're sick. You're a sick person.
And you're a dumb person. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, laugh it up, okay? I didn't sleep for a month after that.
Oh my god, I love this song!
So for the first time, what is she acting like? A kid. Yeah. Yeah, I imagine it would be. Yeah. Okay. This is probably just, I don't know if this is a coincidence, but obviously the tone of the music's much more upbeat, right? The pace of it impacts how we're feeling. We're feeling things are going well. I always stop it there because that girl's alive thing. You don't see the full poster, so you don't see it, but it's an interesting, I think, I feel like that's probably there on purpose for some particular reason as a commentary. The movement of the camera around him. Is it actually happening? Or is he hallucinating? The movement of the camera suggests that it's obviously not happening. The fact that everybody's moving in the exact same motion suggests it's not actually happening.
Dance with me.
No, I don't want to dance.
Come on, please. Come on.
Nothing. I just.
What happened?
It was just an accident.
I think you need stitches.
Again, now it's a shot. It's a two-shot, two of them together. You know, the whole film, we see distance. And then obviously at the point, close off that distance.
I'm never gonna leave you like that again, okay? Let's get you to bed, alright? Okay.
Flip books are, you could talk about props even. Whereas in the essays you wrote last year on novels or short stories, can't really talk about props. You can talk about prop. Think of the symbolism in the flip book. The fact that he retrieved it from a place, that was part of his past, to then eventually just hand it over to her and her accepting that, and what that little book might represent.
I'll be right
pretty sure that close-up of just those words are probably just confirming our suspicions.
I can see it in her face. She's changed from this morning. You got her liking you now. Of course. 5 hours and suddenly you're Mr. Wonderful.
You don't have to pay me.
The money.
I don't need
Just
the money.
take the money.
I don't need the money anymore, man.
Did you guys talk about me?
I don't need the money anymore. Could have just said I don't need the money, right? Doesn't need it anymore. What was his money going to before? Probably drugs. Intentionally killing himself? Maybe, yeah. So, yeah, you could look at it from that point too. Because he made a change.
I bet you
too.
did, right? I am uptight, I'm strict, I'm no fun. Who the fuck are you? This is a one-time deal, Richie. I don't want my daughter having any more false idols. Can you just please leave?
Is that how you expect as children or even teenagers that adults resolve their issues? Passive-aggressive comments at each other, accusations, and then get the hell out before we can talk about it? Do these sound like your wonderful examples of role model adults? Possibly. We're like to be thought that adults have it all together, right? Probably not.
4th grade, PS 198. Scotty Evans and Timmy Knight. They got to me. Sometimes it was a black eye, sometimes they cut me. Then you come down there, you remember? You raise your fist up real high, you punch Scotty Evans clear on the chin, boom, he goes down like a ton of bricks. I've never seen anything like it. It was... They said, you embarrassed that your little sister fights your battles for you. I didn't think so. Just seeing you standing there, you know, you don't mess with Richie, you don't mess with my brother. I knew the truth. I had the coolest sister in the world. And then we grow up. We change. I changed. And, you know, you go and you have this beautiful girl, you know, she's just one in a million, and she's so smart. And I know that you don't get to be like that unless your mother is the best of the best. And then I realized that, some things never change. You're still the coolest sister in the world.
He certainly seems to have grown up very much in a span of a day. Worrying about protecting her, worrying about protecting Sophia. Seems very different than when we first met him. Same overhead shot. You know, the beginning of the film and the end of the film are almost mirrors of each other. What's the difference here? You just pulled the cord out. Why does he end up putting it back in?
Maggie?
Would it be okay if you came over and looked after Sophia sometimes? I need some help, you know? Maybe Friday afternoons or Sundays or something.
Okay.
His first piece of dialogue in the film and his last piece of dialogue are both okay. Right? Maybe that's part of the message, right? That, you know, you can be okay. But it's certainly things like the family seems to have made him much more open to at least making an attempt on things. See if you can pick up any of the music or any of the lyrics on the final song.
Truth is that I haven't shook my shadow, and every day is trying to trick me into doing battle. Calling out fake God, wanna get me rattled, wanna pull me back behind the fence with the cat. Building your lenses, digging your trenches, put me on the front line, leave me with a dumb mind with no defenses, but your defenses. If you can't stand to feel the pain, then you are senseless. Since this, I've grown up some different kind of fighter. And when the darkness comes, let it inside you. Your darkness is shining, my darkness is shining. Every day in myself. True.
The last song is called Truth, and if you actually look through the lyrics, almost actually is a narrative of the whole story. The idea that every day is a bit of a struggle, and it depends on if you can accept the truth in yourself and other people, maybe you get through it. If you want to avoid it your whole life, maybe that's where the struggle comes.